once again, good evening, everybody.
Sir, good evening.
Yeah, very good evening, sir. So, as Rapporteur Ramadevi said, the inauguration post session was quite successful. And today, we are entering into the second session of this psychosomatic disorders. 3 months training program, actually 3 months course, 3 months certificate course on this psychosomatic disorders. Okay, kindly.
Thank you, sir. So I would like to invite our guest of honor, A.R. Krishnamurthy Garu. So he served as a professor and chair.
Sir, request you, please. Ganesh, sir.
WCOP Professor Govinda Reddy Garu and other core committee members and patents and dear participants. The topic which I will be dealing today is addiction to cigarettes and alcoholism. So what is the addiction? First of all, is the habit will interfere with the effective functioning of the person in the family level as well as the office level. So these are the two requirements. And the WHO says the moment the person starts the day with drinking or smoking, that is also an indication of addiction. And if the person starts smoking or drinking, not in a group but alone, that is the third qualification to be an addict. And addiction is a great problem at the international level. And there are so many techniques for treatment. And from my own experience of practice, what I have found is any behavior which is reinforced will continue to develop. That is one of the things, major thing. So when a person drinks, and what kind of reinforcement the person gets is advice. Okay, people advise the person. And also sometimes they scold the person, and sometimes they are beaten up. And all these things are taken as reward. It will be funny for you to think any attention given to an addict is considered as an award. Now, what is to be done? The person should be ignored. When a person smokes, please don't advise the person to stop smoking. What you can do is you can move away from the person and don't talk to the person. Okay, these are the major rewards. Even if you scold or advise, it is taken as a reward by the person. So don't scold, don't advise, physically move away from the person, and that is a very good thing you can do to help a person to come out of the addiction. So that is the first requirement. Second thing, the wives, what they do is they keep away from the addict. If the husband is addict, what they do is they avoid sex with the person because they are drunk or they are smoking. Instead of that, because sex itself is a very intense reward, the recommendation is keep it for a non-smoking day and keep it for a non-drinking day. Tell the person when you are not drunk, we will have. Okay, we will have it. When you are not smoking, we will have it. So when you do that, the person will stop smoking or drinking. This definitely helps. Instead of quarreling, complaining, shouting, because all those things are rewards. But they are not pleasurable rewards. But sex is a pleasurable reward. So you have to, the wives have to use it when the person is not drunk and not smoking. This is one of the things. Similarly, the peer group, okay, they should keep away from the smoking person. Don't advise, don't speak. physically move away from the smoking person. Smoking has come under control because of the Government of India regulation that people should not smoke in public. So that is a great facility. But still, some people get together and smoke. So if a group of people are smoking, the non-smokers should go away from them and don't talk to them, don't interact with them, and don't criticize, don't advise. This is one technique. Another technique specifically for treating smokers, smoking addiction group. I have developed a couple of techniques which were published in international journals. But before going to that, I would say one simple handy technique which can be used for smokers who are smoking less than 10 cigarettes. That is one packet per day. So this technique is very simple, very effective. Take a paper and draw 3 columns. The column head of first column is serial number. Then write down 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. Second column heading will be impulse. That means when the person gets the impulse to smoke, they have to write down the number, the time. For example, if somebody gets up from the bed by 6:30 in the morning and feels like smoking, ask the person to write down 6:30 in the second column. That is the impulse. Third column heading is behavior. So the person has to wait for 5 minutes. Instead of smoking immediately by 6:30, the person can smoke by 6:35. So there is no control on smoking behavior. There is only the person is asked to inhibit the temptation or the impulse to smoke. Okay, some advertisement is coming in between. Please ask the participant to switch off the mic audio.
Yes, sir. I request all the participants, please mute your mics. It is causing a little disturbance so that we can hear the Ganeshan sir voice clearly. Thank you.
Okay. So in the third column, you write down 6:35 and the person can smoke. And second time, by 10:20, the person feels like smoking. Okay, you write down in the second column, that is the impulse, 10:20. But wait for 5 minutes, smoke by 10:25. Like that, go on doing it. You can smoke even 10 cigarettes. But it becomes, you develop a kind of control over your brain and the nervous system and the blood chemistry. Because nicotine is in the blood. And through the nervous system, it is demanding smoking. Okay. So this is a problem. So you have to be very careful in handling smoking behavior. Otherwise, it will lead to cancer of the lung, cancer of the esophagus, cancer of the tongue, etc. And it's very difficult to cure when they go to the final stage in cancer, okay, mouth cancer, etc. So it is better you give this program to all the youngsters in schools and colleges. Thank God here only boys smoke, not girls. But in rural areas, women also smoke. Okay. I know in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, rural women, they smoke. They smoke cigars. So I would like to suggest that the students can take up a project going to the rural areas and telling the women to use this particular technique and then collect data, and it will make a nice publication. Okay, it will be a good project report. Even somebody can take it up for a PhD work also. Okay, it will be a worthy service to the community when you get your MPhil or PhD or PG project. I want the guides to suggest to students to use such kind of behavior modification programs to be implemented by the students, especially for the rural folk. So this is one technique. Another technique for people who drink a lot, okay, the alcoholics, and always whether smoking or drinking, it has got an emotional origin. People who are depressed or frustrated or angry, but cannot express the anger in the family or in the workplace. So that creates a lot of stress. When they feel angry and they can't express, it creates a lot of stress. And as a stress relief, they start smoking and drinking. So this is one of the major problems which leads to alcoholism or chain smoking. Okay. And the technique which I have developed to treat intense smokers and intense alcoholics is little complex, and I published it in Psychological Reports, the international journal published from US, and that requires a specific training. Okay, so I'm not taking it up here, but a person has to be admitted and treated for a period of at least 2 weeks to overcome alcoholism or cigarette smoking. Okay, cigar smoking, BD smoking. And BD smoking is more dangerous than cigarette smoking. And filtered cigarettes are also dangerous. Okay, so it is not that filtered cigarettes are safer. And smoking BD will lead to a lot of problems. But one thing which you can tell the people who are smoking, that they will develop impotence. Research has proved that it will develop impotence. Okay, they will have difficulty having erection during sex. So this message can be spread in colleges, especially in the canteens, in the mess. You can put up a poster which says that smokers will become impotent. Okay, and they will not be fit for married life. This can be also done in colleges, etc. Not schools, but colleges you can do it. Any question or observation, you are welcome.
Sir, there is a joke about the developing impotency. Say a person goes to the shop and asks for a cigarette packet, and he reads on that it leads to impotency. Then he gives back and asks for cancer wala dena bhai. So that means if it is, they can accept the cancer, but they can't accept the impotence.
Yeah.
He asked for giving the warning sign.
I'm not able to see the person who is speaking.
I'm Rama, sir.
Rama, okay. I can identify the voice. Yes, Rama, what is it? Your observation?
No, sir. There is a joke on this developing impotency while smoking. So a person goes to the shop to get the cigarette packet. He reads that smoking leads to impotency. He gives back to the shopkeeper and asks another cigarette packet which says the smoke leads to cancer. So people are ready to accept the cancer, but not the impotency.
Yeah. That's right.
Sir, I have a question here, sir. In my NGO, all the women, and we have so much of like domestic violence cases. So the most women complain that because of the husband's drinking habit, they don't want to live in the relationship. They want to come out of it. So, but they have children who are very difficult, and they want to come out after getting married, like 7 years or 8 years, of even after 15 years. They're not able to bear that drinking habit of the husband. But the wives or the partners, they don't really realize that what impact they are having because of the husband's drinking habit. So they just ask that we want my husband to change, not they themselves want to become empowered or do something. So in such cases, what advice we can give to the women and what advice we can give to the men who are drinking?
Yes, Rama.
Shall I repeat, sir?
Yeah, please.
Okay, sir. So in my NGO, we get lot of alcoholic addicted cases.
Okay.
In that, women, they just want their husband to change, but and they don't want to be in the relationship even after getting married for more than 10 years.
Okay.
So they just say that their alcoholic habit, they don't even realize that their alcoholic habit is making their mental health disturbed, but they don't realize it. They just want their husband to change. So what advice we can give to the women and to the men?
Okay. Now, as I initially explained, if they cannot be effective in their work, that is the first requirement to be branded as alcoholism, according to WHO. Suppose they are able to work and earn and drink, it is not alcoholism, first of all. The day starts with alcohol consumption. That is the requirement for alcoholism, to be branded as alcoholism, which is a mental health problem. Otherwise, if they are party drinkers, occasional drinkers, it is not a problem. So these are the two things, and it should not affect the relationship within the family. But what we have found here in Bharatiyar University and also elsewhere in India, we have found that one of the basic reasons for alcoholism, and which is not able to be solved by experts throughout the world, is that the men who are alcoholics, they are sexually not competent. So what is required is, if you remove alcoholism, their incompetency in sex is exposed. So we have helped people to become sexually competent, and they have left the alcohol habit. One of my doctoral fellows, Dr. Krishnan Kuti from Shornu, he has treated about 85 railway men, the running staff, who are running the engines, who are addicted to alcohol. They have come out of it. The basic model is like this. They have been given programs to develop their sexual competency, then alcoholism was removed. Otherwise, it is very difficult to remove alcoholism. And just because occasional drinking is there, women should not ask the husband to stop drinking. Okay, occasional drinking is not alcoholism. But what women can do, what I would tell Rama, you have to advise your women folk that they should avoid intercourse when the husband is drunk. So they have to lay the condition: when you are not drunk, it is okay. When you are drunk, please avoid. Okay? Because sex itself is a very intense reward, reinforcement. But they may do it. That is the problem. Because some women, unwisely, they have said that their husbands are more effective when they are drunk. This is a wrong reinforcement. So you have to tell the wives not to do that blunder. Okay.
But they say that when they are drunk, they are beating them.
Okay. Or
And
they are
that's why they are
beating aggressive.
beating them. That's why they are forceful to do that.
Okay. Then you have to teach them some self-defense technique, as you know.
Yes, yes.
But anyway, it's only a joke I am telling. But find out what is the problem, emotional problem behind drinking. Alcoholism is not a physiological problem. It's not a biochemical problem. It is an emotional problem, which started as a child. And later it is developing into adulthood and after marriage also. So some of these people, they are very calm and quiet when they are not drunk. But once they drink, okay, they become violent and aggressive and they become noisy. So what I suggest to these people is, I will ask the person to behave in a gentle way for about half an hour. Next half an hour, you behave as if you are drunk. They can talk all nonsense, shout and jump and throw things without drinking. Okay, this is a training for the brain of that person. So they don't need to drink and then jump and shout and use abusive languages and throw things. Okay, behave properly. It can be even for 10 minutes. Behave like a gentleman. Then imagine that you are drunk. It's not real drink, okay? Drinking. The person starts behaving, goes haywire and shouts and abuses and hits an imaginary person, not the wife, okay? If they alternate between these two things, they will be able to come out of alcoholism. You can try this in your center.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay,
Thank
the
you.
person can even dance also without drinking. Normally, people don't dance, don't show anger. They are very submissive, calm, quiet, gentlemen when they are not drunk. But once they drink, they do all this mischief. So drinking becomes a pretext to misbehave. So what I suggest to them, misbehave. I give the what is known as in DA language as a sanction. Okay, as a therapist, I say I give you the sanction. You can behave, jump, shout, talk all nonsense, and throw things, and hit at a person, imaginary person. So when we prompt them, they understand that they can do the same thing without alcohol. Okay, so alcohol should not be taken up as a escape mechanism. Okay, that's what I do in treating alcoholic cases. But I wish you to take down the very important thing is you have to investigate whether they have got sexual incompetence and try to solve that. It will become all right. That's what Dr. Krishnamurti has done in Shorno with railwaymen. I was his guide for PhD and he got his railway minister's best research award, etc. And Jayashree, who is a participant, knows in this program, she knows Krishnamurti. Okay, Raman.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I request the participants to come up with your questions.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't get that 10 cigarettes, the giving 10 cigarettes, no, that because that technique I didn't get. Can you explain it once more?
No. Yeah, I will explain it.
Yeah. Okay, thank
Very
you.
simple, very effective technique.
Yeah,
Take a small card, make
Yeah.
3 columns.
yeah,
First column heading is serial number.
yeah,
Second column heading is impulse. That
Yeah.
is impulse to smoke.
yeah,
And third column heading is the behavior.
yeah,
The serial number you write 1 to 10.
yeah,
And that next, when the person gets up in the morning by 7 o'clock or something,
yeah,
feels like smoking by 7:10.
yeah,
Okay, ask him to write 7:10 in the second column under
Yeah.
the heading of impulse.
yeah,
But wait for 5 minutes and then he can smoke.
yeah,
It may be used by women also who are addicted to cigarette smoking. I am giving an example of men,
Yeah.
but some women also smoke. They also
Yeah.
get addicted.
yeah,
Okay. So 7:15, the person can smoke.
yeah,
And again, the person gets the temptation by 9 o'clock. Wait for
Yeah.
5 minutes, but 9:05, you can smoke.
yeah,
Like that, 5 minutes delay in smoking
yeah,
for the whole day.
yeah,
This is repeated for 3 days.
yeah,
Same thing has to be repeated. The next 3 days, after 3 days, the 4th day onwards, increase the gap between the impulse and the smoking to 10
Yeah.
minutes.
yeah,
So it is a mind, it's a nerve, it's a blood chemistry, everything is gradually learning to inhibit the temptation to smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. Things will be all right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I mean, you go on increasing 5 minutes every third day. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can go up to 30 minutes.
Yeah,
By the time they would have got control.
yeah,
It is not just the mind, it is the nervous system, it's the brain, it's the biochemistry of the blood, the nicotine in the blood.
yeah,
So with this, you can succeed. But if somebody is smoking 2 packets, 3 packets, chain smokers, that requires a different treatment, a kind of aversive conditioning method.
Yeah.
And it was published. It was known as the stop technique. Smoke them out of pleasure technique, because after smoking, they relax. So instead of relaxing, they are made to experience stress, which is to be done only in a clinical setup after admission.
Okay.
That I am not taking up now.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Dr. Nelson.
Okay.
Yes, Getsi Salman.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, you
Good
just
evening.
now it is your
I'm
turn.
not able to.
Getsi, you are not visible. Are you wearing any cloak so that you will not be visible on the screen?
Sir, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, I am able to hear you. Now I am able to see you also.
Sir, I was waiting for your next technique.
Okay. What technique?
You said some elaborate one.
Now, two packets and more. 2, 3 packets, 4 packets. Heavy smokers. Heavy smokers, they smoke continuously. Chain smokers. They require a different type of handling, which can be done only in a clinical setup, to be admitted and to be, which I am not explaining here, because some people may abuse it.
Okay.
When they get into trouble. Okay. Those who are
Okay, sir.
practicing, they can do it. But people who are still to practice should not try that.
Okay.
Question is hello,
Yes. Yes.
I'm Dr. R.V. Rao. I have got a question regarding alcoholism.
1 minute. Somebody, Dr. Tree,
R.V. Rao.
Shanti Sri, she has raised her hand.
Sir, namaste, sir. Namaste. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm a practicing psychologist and I worked in Indian Air Force as an organization counselor since 2011 to 2016, sir. So here I want to share with my group one technique which I have adapted and successfully helped them to overcome alcoholism. Can I share it, sir?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, see, like first I'll make them the budget daily, how much they are spending on alcoholism and their salary. And I'll make them write on a small note such that if they're spending 100 rupees per day, so into 30, so 3,000 they're spending. So it goes like that. And they will stick it on a 100 rupee note on in their purse, such that whenever they go to a shop, they open it and they see the amount they're spending. So first 2 days, first 3 days, as you said, I'll tell them to go. If you still want to buy it. Then again, after 3 days when they come, I make them to stick the photos of their children on the same 100 rupee note.
Very good.
So whenever they go there, when they see their children's face, I say, instead of spending that 100 rupees on your alcoholism, can you buy some notebooks? Can you deposit them in post office?
Very good.
So this really helped them to overcome the alcoholic habit within 8 weeks. Most of them, I dealt first 2 years, I dealt 5 cases and they were successfully overcome within 8 weeks.
Very good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is also very
Congratulations.
effective technique, sir.
Yeah,
And one more thing is keep away from the people who are smoking, who are drinking.
Yeah.
Change your group. The person should avoid going to the group which are smoking. Make a good group. So when I tell him, if you have any temptation, pick up the 100 rupee note and go to the nearest temple and put that there. Instead of going to a bar, instead of going to a shop, to the wine shop. Yeah.
Dr. Shanti Sri,
Yes,
the
sir.
cognitive behavior therapy you have applied, which is very good.
Yes, sir. So that I wanted to share. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the
Sure.
insight.
Sure. Yes.
I congratulate Shanti Sri,
Yes.
who was our erstwhile student of distance education of Venkateswara University. I still remember you. You and your husband did
Yes,
the
sir.
same years, psychology
Yes.
course. I still
Yes, sir.
remember.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulate you for just finding out a novel technique in order to cure alcoholism. Thank you. Once again,
Thank you very
congratulate
much.
you.
With your
Well-
blessing, sir, you guided us into this path and we continued. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. R.V. Rao. Hello.
Get see,
Yes, R.V. Rao garu.
you can unmute and
Yeah, you can unmute and speak to our Ganeshan sir.
I saw some more hands raised, so I thought I'll keep quiet. But anyway, so sir, you said alcoholism is more emotional, right?
yes,
Because of emotional issues.
yes.
But however, it may start on emotional issues, but when it is alcoholism becomes an addiction, then it doesn't remain emotional, rather it becomes physiological. So now, do we have to start with only medication to start with before any counseling can be done?
Okay. Now it has to be done parallelly with counseling, behavior therapy, and drugs. Drugs alone may not be able to succeed. So it should be handled by psychologists working in that area to solve the relationship problem between the client and the parents, clients and the wife, like that. Okay, that requires family therapy coupled along with use of drugs. Okay, that's what I would suggest. Esperal, etc., can be used, but along with that, the relationship problem of the person has to be also solved. That's
But
it.
however, without drugs, I don't think we can manage. I mean, parallelly, we have to have.
In some cases, it could be managed without drugs also, but in some cases, drugs are required. In extreme cases, disulfiram has to be used. But otherwise, at the lower level, then counseling itself can help. That's why I said WHO definition is early morning, starting the day with a drink, and it interferes with the effective function of the person at the family and in the workplace, and the person drinks alone without any company. These are the three requirements. And in that case, it becomes alcoholism, then which requires the treatment with chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and also coupled with behavior therapy. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Yes, Getsi, are you ready
So,
to speak?
yes, sir. Like, I have this client who's a family. They have two small babies, sir.
Okay.
And this guy, like, just like how you told us just now, that he's an early morning drinker. He just
Okay.
wakes up drinking.
Okay.
So, and through the day, he's drinking, and like,
Is he able
and
to
he
go
has
to
many
work?
reasons to give. So either, so
Is he working somewhere?
he is working, he is earning, he's the only son, and
Okay.
so much of attention on him, so much of
Okay.
focus on him. He has so much love. He has got everything, but but he is not out of this. And along with the love and attention, they also nag him a lot. That is there. I
They
found
have
out.
to, no, what I suggest is you ask the family members to stop nagging, which I have already mentioned. I am repeating.
Yes, sir.
They should not nag the person. They should only
I
appreciate.
found that was the main reason for his
Yeah.
continued habits, sir.
So you say, if you say stop nagging, they cannot do it. So ask
Right.
them to appreciate the person, whatever little good thing in him, ask them to appreciate. Every day you give one appreciation, what is known as a
Okay.
stroke. In TA parlance, it is known as stroke. Okay? And it is also known as a golden stamp. But what we are giving is a gray stamp. So the parent as well as the wife have to appreciate one good thing in that person. Suppose he dresses smartly, ask them to say very smart. You are looking like a model, something like that. But they should not contaminate that with something else. You are looking like an actor, but you are not wise. Okay, you are lazy.
Okay.
Don't put a comma and then add something negative. Only positive only. Okay, that will develop the person to produce more and more positive responses.
Okay, so add one small quote along with the praise you say, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
No nagging. No
Okay.
breakdowns. It is to be
And
done by
it's
the
all,
parent as the wife. Okay. If
it
people
should
are
always be positive.
positive. Yeah. Absolutely. It is just like a
But
magic.
he has the desire to become good. He has the desire. After coming to my center, I think he was good for about 2 weeks. And then again he started.
Yeah. But then whatever counseling you are giving is very good. But you call the parents also, the wife also, and tell them how to encourage this person. That's very
Together.
important. Yes.
Yes, sir. After you told me I'm spending a lot of time on one client, not
Very
just
good.
1 hour. I'm spending like half day. I'm like training them. I'm taking your, though I don't have the facility to admit right now. I'm
Okay.
spending a lot of time with one client.
Okay. That's good. You can visit a nursing home, admit your
Sure,
client,
sir.
and spend
With
more
your,
time treating
with
the
your
person.
blessings, maybe next time I should be able to do that.
Because that is the facility I have is I have got a 12-bedded hospital. It's my own. People come and stay from far and near, from abroad, from within the country. They come and stay there comfortably, undergo the program for a week or two, and they are able to come out of the problem.
Nice,
Another
very
thing,
nice.
involve the family. That is a very important thing. If you start treating an individual client, it may work partially. But if you involve the family, it will work very well. Sometimes you may have to disconnect the family also. Recently, I have done in one case where I have asked the client to go for a mutual divorce. Okay. Because if others are not cooperating and they are always hurting, then it is better to remove.
Okay.
Now, if it is required, I am telling it's an extreme case.
If it is required, yeah.
You have to think about it. The person
if it is detrimental to the client's progress, I think we have to do it, isn't it, sir?
We have to do it. Yes, yes.
Right.
Maybe I will discuss about the case later.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Related to alcoholism. But then this is a behavioral problem of a lady.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Yes.
Sir, shall we?
Thank you for continuing with the program, BG sir, Reddy sir, and Ganeshan sir. Thank you for continuing. It's really, I was like waiting for this.
Sir, there are some professions
Yes,
which actually induce a lot of alcoholism, and so journalists are the victims. As a journalist, I know at least half a dozen journalists, because of their drinking habit.
Hi, sir. Good evening. So previously, ma'am has mentioned about the note where putting the pictures of the children. So that one I didn't understand. That same note we can't give it to the senator, right, sir? By sticking the pictures or photos of the children. So that part I didn't understand. It's like a separate note or the something that is gonna being given to the shopkeeper.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that.
Yeah, what she means is when the person who drinks thinks of his children, he will be very careful not to drink. That will motivate. Okay. In the road signs also it is there. Okay, drive slowly. Okay, your family is waiting for you. Based on that only she has given. So whenever he opens the purse, he will see the wife and children, and he is the caretaker, so he has to be more responsible. So it's a cognitive behavior therapy program, which she has used. Okay.
So that means like preparing a separate note, but not literally giving that note to the moment the purse opens, that note should be evident to the person. So that is the main goal idea.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yes.
Yeah.
It
Because
is a warning. It is a warning or a reminder.
Yeah. That intention I got it, but I didn't. I thought like, how can the same note been given? So that part.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
You have guessed it right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it all depends on the severity of the case. It is one of the techniques she suggested, and we will already, with the permission of Professor Ganeshan sir, daily we are all the time oral we will be discussing, we will be restricting to 40 to 50 minutes, but daily we are crossing 1 hour 15 minutes. So we will continue your question, and we will also add, and Shanthisri will, Dr. Shanthisri will also add the coming session. All right. Now, with the permission of our chairperson Ganeshan sir, shall we go for a summarization and just a vote of thanks?
Yes, please do.
Yeah. Ramadevi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, on behalf of WCOP, I would like to thank Ganeshan sir for his precious time and valuable techniques which has given. So, to sum up the session, so we have discussed about alcoholism and smoking. The foremost thing is alcoholism will be considered as a addiction when it is affecting his work, family. So any behavior which is reinforced is continued throughout. So it is an advice to the family members not to give any advice that to stop drinking or stop smoking. So just move out of with the person, and the reward system will work better. And wife, in most of the cases, if the wife avoids the intercourse or intimacy with the husband, and when she puts a condition that it has to be done on non-smoking day or non-alcohol consumption day, so that will help. And there is one more technique which he has discussed, to make a note of it, like serial number, impulse to smoke or drink, and the behavior. So he can take at least 10 cigarettes or 10 number 1 to 10. So for the first 3 days he has to make it note of the time when he has the impulse to smoke, suppose like 6:30 or 7 o'clock. So he has to delay it by 5 minutes for the 3 days, and then he has to increase the time limit by 5 minutes for every 3 days, so that it reaches until 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes of delay every time when he has the impulse to smoke. So by the time his cognitions will get habit, will understand that he can postpone it or he can be away from it. So so drinking is an emotional origin. So whenever he feels angry, depressed or frustrated, they cannot express that. So because of that stress, they move to the alcoholism. So intense alcoholics should be admitted and treated, and that technique hasn't been given because that needs a lot of guts to do it. So BD smoking and filtered cigarette are more dangerous, and they develop impotence. So a case from for the women who have the partners of alcoholics, so they are incompetent in sex. So we have to make them develop their incompetency, and again the wife has to put a condition to have the intercourse on non-alcoholic day. So one technique is, we should ask the person to behave in a gentle way for 30 minutes. And again after 30 minutes we have to ask the person to behave as the alcoholic, like whether if he shouts, nags or else abuses, whatever he does it, and if he has the habit of hitting, we have to make them hit an imaginary person or dance or anything. So, and then we have to, that makes him understand that how he behaves when he's drunk, and how it is affecting the family and all. So it should not be an escape mechanism. So the technique which Shantisi ma'am has said is, make a note of the budget, how much he is spending in a day. So into 30 days, so that amount, and make a note on the money, make a note or stick a rupee on a 100 rupee note, a picture of the family or the children, so that whenever he opens his purse, he can look at the picture of the family and he can remember that their family is waiting for me. So, and there is also one thing he can do is with that 100 rupees, whatever the money he spends in a day, he can spend for the children instead of going to the bar or spending with the peers or the group, whoever is going. So even if he is compelled to go, that he can put that money in the temple or give it as a charity. So instead of spending on alcohol. So there is case which discussed by Gatsy ma'am. So it is an emotional issue, there is no doubt, but in severe cases, drugs and counseling both has to go hand in hand, and along with the family therapy, we shall, and every time sir has discussed that every time when we are focusing on the complaint or the client, we have to look for the family or the environment. Sometimes it is needed for the family also to be get counseled. So it is not just one person, it is the whole family which can make the person come out of it. So the Gatsy ma'am's problem is a family with 2 young children. He's an early morning drinker and he's being nagged by the family. But he's well off, I mean, like emotionally. But the advice sir has given is stop nagging. Appreciate every little thing. Even if he drinks a little late, we have to appreciate that. I'm happy that you are not drinking. Everything should be in a positive way. That means we have to give a golden stamp rather than giving a gray stamp. So add one quote along with the appreciation. Example, like you're looking smart when you're not drunk, or you're looking, you are able to do all your responsibilities well, which we are eagerly waiting for. These are examples of appreciation. Only the positive one, not put any negative tag on that. So involve the family members. Sometimes we need to disconnect with the family members, and that too in extreme cases. So these are the things which J.V. Lakshman sir has discussed to put a condition for the journalists especially not to get into the habit of drinking and lose their jobs and families. So this is what I have observed and make a note of it. And I thank you Ganeshan sir for his valuable time and suggestions on WCOP. And I would also like to thank BG Reddy sir for all the efforts he has been putting forth to bring up in training ourselves and to train others. Thank you so much, sir. And I thank all the participants for keenly. We have a good number of participants in this session, in this training program. So I request all the participants to make a note of the cases what have been discussed and write in the records and submit to Ashok, sir. Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening.
Yeah, 2 things I would like to add. I request the participants. This is of workshop type. So I request the participants to raise at least 10 people in one session, so that it becomes much clarification as far as that problem is concerned. Our participants, particularly our Ganesh sir, our Lakshman Rao sir, and other beloved participants, and course coordinator Rama Devi, and our beloved Anupama, just who has been with us. Thank you one and all. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night, sir.